Hey, Keyan, can you post the broadcast on the Stacker News? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name is Car. I'm with my best friend, Carman. How does it feel to be canceled, finally? After how many years have you put into the Bitcoin space?
7, I think.
You're officially canceled.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know.
I'm kidding, but like
it's canceled than I thought I'd be, so I'm happy.
You're less canceled than you thought you'd be. Yeah.
But life's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It's been a tough week for you.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you actually coming on the pod. When you told me about this, I was like, "Well, come on the pod," and so I appreciate you coming in front of the stackers, and talking about it. It can't be an easy week. I know I would be. I'd be a little girl in my apartment crying if something happened to PlebTV. But yeah, let's talk about that. The first top story was Mutiny wallet is shutting down. This from Siggy47. All zaps got forwarded to Tony Giorgio. 135 comments. All that stuff. What do you? What's your? How are you feeling now that the news is finally out there in the open?
Yeah, I mean, this has been like a multi-month discussion internally. It's kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I mean, like Tony's just kind of like burnt out on Bitcoin, which I understand, and the rest of us are kind of like burnt out on the wallet, where it's just like, you know, when we launched Mutiny, it was like, we're gonna be a better wallet than Moon, and like, you know, this is when fees were like, your mempools were empty, and you know, the bar wasn't very high back then, and now we live in the real world, and you know, fees are super high sometimes, and we had to come to terms with like all, you know, the different hard parts of Lightning, and basically we all kind of realized like maybe self-custodial mobile Lightning isn't the thing, and yeah, I mean, like, you know, if Tony was like burnt out, but like Mutiny was a resounding success, we probably would have kept doing it, but like all of us are just like, yeah, I mean, this is just like, we're just beating our head against the wall on like something that's not getting like, you know, millions of users, so like what are we kind of doing here? And
yeah.
So yeah, it's like, for me, they're gonna move on and do some other less Bitcoiny things. But like I you know, I've previously done jobs that were less Bitcoiny and I hated it. So I was like, okay, I need to find somewhere else to go where I can do some like real deep research Bitcoin stuff. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah. Yeah,
let's just talk about this for a second. So was there anything that you can, because usually like me, dude, I'm the same way with PlebLab. Like there's been multiple times where we've been on near collapse of dying. And, you know, by the grace of God, something happens. Is there anything that you look back that when you think of like certain rocks that you guys hit that you could have went this way, but y'all went this way? Was there anything that you look back that you're like, man, I wish I would have done that differently, or as a team or anything?
I don't know. I mean, like, I feel like we made the correct decisions along the way. I mean, maybe like we focused on something. I guess I wanted to do it in the web again. That was just like a huge headache that didn't need to happen. Like, you know, we never got kicked off the app stores, so you know, all that effort was kind of for nothing. But
is there anything else that you think?
I don't think so. I mean,
what about the eCash stuff? You think the eCash hurt or helped y'all?
I mean, I still think it's a good idea. Like, you know, we started out with like, you know, a few thousand users on Lightning, and like to get that next user, it's like, okay, give us $70 to open a channel, which is like such a hard sell to get a new user. And the eCash just made it super easy. Like our first month of launching Fedimint, we had double the users using Fedimint, then it took us a year of getting people.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Channels. I mean, to be fair, like it's costless to join a Fedimint, so maybe those are a little skewed.
Did you guys get paid for the Fedi stuff, or no? Did Fedi pay you guys?
No. It's just like we just like, I mean, like in our original pitch decks, like before we even built the wallet, we had Fedimint in there. Like, this is a good idea. We want to add it to the wallet eventually.
So they never dropped y'all some like R&D or anything like B2B thing or anything like that?
I wish. No, yeah. I mean, they're helpful in like the innovation and stuff. But like, I mean, like we're good friends with Justin, and we now know a lot of the team, and you know, they're all good people. But yeah, just like
that's the thing that it took me a long time to realize that, Ben, was like you got to charge them. And I think I was talking to Odell when we had that wolf thing, was like you should have charged him double, is what he told me. And I think when I look back on it now, like I would have done a lot more charging early on to some of these other B2B stuff that we do. So I think I think that's a big thing. I think startups should definitely think revenue first before implementations.
Yeah,
if that's anything.
I mean, to us though, it was like we would have paid for it. I mean, because like to us, it was like an improvement on the wallet of like, okay, now we can have users without having to pay for channels or deal with any of this channel management and force closes and all these other.
Oh, so you guys saw it as like a different sort of.
Yeah, it was just like, okay, we have all these users complaining about different hard problems in Lightning. Well, let's just get them off Lightning because they actually just want Wall Satoshi. They don't want Lightning. So you know, Fedimint gives us like that best middle ground, and so yeah, we like.
So if you did it again, you guys would. You don't think you would have? Obviously, it's gonna be more like a Tony decision, but you don't think you would have charged them for any of the stuff that you guys implemented, or even like LDK? Didn't you guys do some stuff for LDK?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like a lot of it's just like, you know, we're just. I mean, maybe like I guess one of the hard parts was like we were the first mobile LDK integrator, at least like wide scale. We were the first like Fedimint in the web app, or like, I mean, we were the first like Fedimint app on mainnet, I think. And so yeah, like a lot of this stuff is just like we kind of just battle tested all the new stuff. So like that made it hard of like, okay, we got Fedimint working in the browser. And then we run into the DNS issue that took down all the Fedimints. We're like, oh, we got LDK working in the browser, and it's like, oh, there's actually these 8 million things we have to do over the next year to help ease out the pain points and stuff like that. So a lot of stuff now for the next person that does it, it's gonna be a lot easier because we ran into all those hurdles. Yeah. But being the first one that does it, I mean,
don't want to be the first one through the door.
All that stuff. Yeah. I mean, it was bad. Like we learned a ton of stuff doing it, which was great. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's the thing I see all the time in the space, and I'm only saying this because I've been around 4 years and I've seen the startup game play out for a lot of different companies. But I do see like these bigger companies in the space come in and take advantage of a lot of the startups and then don't pay them for some of the B2B stuff. And then the startups have to end up eating the cost on it. Mm-hmm. So I would say if there's any founders out there who are like Series A or Series B and you're looking at some of these smaller startups, drop them a couple $10,000 bones because that looks good. When you guys report that on your quarterly stuff. So that's all I would say, but that's me talking. That's not Ben talking.
Yeah. I mean, we had the intention of like, we're not just like a open source project. We want to actually make money. It's like when we launched, we did the Mutiny Plus thing, but yeah, it took us like a year basically to add Lightning Address, which was like our first real Mutiny Plus feature, which, this is like, this is the nature of it, is like we had so much stuff to build before we can actually start charging for like real features. So it's hard.
I think the other thing happened was you also announced that you're going to Taproot Wizards, and then everybody. I don't have a Twitter, but let's see what kind of hate did you get?
Honestly, the comments are pretty good.
Pretty tame.
Pretty positive.
So tell us about this. What's happening with this?
I mean, they had impeccable timing on accident. Like the initial meeting we had together for Mutiny of like, we're gonna shut it down. Within 12 hours, they had texted me. Like, I didn't tell them anything, but they just like happened to text me like, "Hey, we're building a team. Do you want a part of it?" And originally I was like, "No, you stick with Mutiny." And then like we had this meeting. I was like, "Oh shit, might need a new job." So here we are. And I mean, for me, like I've been pretty burnt out on Lightning for the last while. Like I wrote the Stacker News post at the beginning of the year about like rethinking Lightning, where it's basically just like, look, Lightning's great, but like giving it to end users is just like a recipe for disaster. You have, people don't understand channels, they don't understand channel reserves, they don't understand like any of the stuff, and then having to pay for all the different various things in there, like it just ends up just like eating the user's time that they don't want to do. And it's like they come to Bitcoin they think it's better money, and now we're giving them a worse experience. So, I think like we basically just like kind of my conclusion is we need to try something else, and like this is like basically the best opportunity I had to try something that's like actually different. So that's why I got pretty excited about it. And I like Rindale is like a awesome guy, so it's gonna be fun to build with him, and Udi and the rest of the team, all good dudes. So
wait, Udi's a part of it too?
Udi's the CEO.
Shut up, really?
Yeah.
The guy who dresses up as a wizard on stage at the Bitcoin conference thing? Mm-hmm. Really? this whole time.
That's why he's the wizard.
Really?
How did you not know this?
Dude, I don't pay attention to all
Oh
that
my
stuff.
gosh.
I'm just on Stacker News, man. I don't.
Fair enough.
Twitter's
fair
dead
enough.
to me. Gosh, dude, that's wild, man. Anyways,
But yeah, I've known those two for like.
what do you
years,
think about
so-
the stackers coming in? And here, I think they said this. What do you think about that? What are you going to say to Daniel Prince?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, there's lots of shady funding in the Bitcoin space. So, like,
Yeah, half the companies are funded by Tether.
yeah, Keyan's over here saying half the companies are funded by Tether. I mean, like, a lot of the Bitcoin open source charities get money from shitcoins. So, like, you know, it's just, it is what it is. But, like, you know, I'd rather shitcoin money go to build Bitcoin things and more shitcoin things or fiat things. So,
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Then Austin's going to come in and talk about it more. But like, do you think there's a solution there as far as like how to get more? And I don't even know how to explain it because it's kind of weird. The only people that really want to give money are like the shitcoiners and like you know, some of these NGOs. But like other than that, like what do you see a problem with that, Ben? Like how do we fix that? Or can we fix that?
I mean, it's just like the Bitcoin or the shitcoiners are, there's more of them and they have more money than the Bitcoiners. So it's like, of course, they're going to fund more people. And yeah, like Keyan's saying it's guilt money. Like, I mean, that's just, it is what it is. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't think it's a problem. Like, you know, like there's been lots of open source devs that have been funded by people like Coinbase. And it's like, they're not getting pressured to like add Ethereum into Bitcoin and shit like that. It's like, you know, for the most part, good things happen. So.
What do you think? What do you think you should say to Giacomo here? He's says you need more integrity, Ben. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't know. I love Giacomo. He blocks me, so it is what it is. But I mean, like he's like trying to make conspiracy theories, like Taproot Wizards like paid me to shut down mutinies so we could like kill Bitcoin. Like that's not what's happening. Like I would have never taken this job, and I told them this explicitly. Like I'm not taking this job unless Mutiny's gone, and you know Mutiny is now gone. So I'm like, okay, well, what am I going to do next? And this seems like a lot of fun, so that's what I'm doing.
I think the thing for us, like for me, I mean, everybody in the lab, we just see front row seats to everything, and it's like you kind of, you know what I mean? Like everybody sees we all see each other's like warts and like scabs, and you know what I mean. And we all know our own like how bad it is for each other. Like we're all very like you know, we're all very good friends like that in a lot of ways. Like we all share each other's burdens in a way, I think, in Austin. So like I knew you guys were having problems, but it's tough. It's tough because when you start knowing people on a personal level, it's harder to say critical things that you see from afar that could help them. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I still live with Tony and Paul, and like Tony's giving me endless shit for going to Taproot Wizards. So
oh, is he?
I mean,
You're going to the restroom. He's like, "Are you taking another shit?"
Yeah, basically. But
that's tough, dude.
I mean, I don't care. Like, we're all still good friends. Like,
Yeah.
I knew what I was signing up for, and
What did Parker say?
Parker sent me a long message yesterday. But you know, like,
Are you gonna host BitDevs next month?
You're not working on
yeah,
ordinals.
yeah, I'm not working on any ordinals and inscription stuff. I mean, like, we're building a layer 2. I mean, there will be shitcoins traded on it probably, but there's being shitcoins traded on Lightning.
Are you gonna
now.
do BitDevs next month, or are they canceling you there too?
I'm gonna be out of town. I'll be at Riga.
Oh wow, that's a good.
So,
just let it clear the air. Dang.
Yeah.
Is that why you're back at PlebLab now? Because you're like broke and starting all over again?
No.
Yeah, because after you guys raised, we never saw y'all again at PlebLab. It was like you guys went to the Commons, but
And our problem is just like everyone here is so too fun to talk to, and then it's like we get no work done. But
yeah, we're all busy. But dude, I appreciate you coming on the show and talking about all this stuff. It can't be easy, and yeah, man, it sucks. Do you think but they're still going to continue on, right? Isn't Mark's going to do? I met him at the thing, so
yeah, they're gonna basically like we built a lot of surrounding tech around Mutiny that's like actually like not even like totally Bitcoin related and like really useful. Like we have this encrypted cloud storage that backs up all the Lightning state and is other parts of the app as well backed up, and it's like this can be used for like kind of anything. And we have this like blinded auth, so you can have like super private auth. before we shut down, we were working on a private key management thing. So like we have like all these little tools that like could be very useful for like other Bitcoin wallets, or just like, you know, if you want to make like a password manager or some other like service. So they're basically going to like turn that into like a real like SaaS platform product, which honestly would probably be way more lucrative than Mutiny. But because, you know, wallets don't make much money. But
yeah, I think you guys were really good at that. I mean, it showed with all the Fedi integration stuff that you guys were doing, that you guys were really good at doing some of this like R&D for some of these companies. So maybe there's some sort of revenue there.
We've had a lot of inbound around this stuff. So it seems like it's going to work out.
Yeah. Well, if you need a job, you can always come to PlebLab and get a job. There's some guy in here who has like 4 jobs and he's killing it. Sweet. So if you need a job. Oh yeah, that's right. You're working for Udi now.
Yeah.
What's that going to be like? Are you expecting it to go pretty well?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I just got into the Slack a minute ago. So
does your baseness feel too like? Are you going to be able to say things like base stuff in there, or are you going to have to?
Oh yeah, I mean,
okay,
they're all Bitcoiners still.
They are okay.
So
we'll see.
But yeah, things are good. I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, Ben. I appreciate you coming on, and Car loves you. Sacker News loves you. So don't feel like you don't have a place to go.
I love you, Car.
He's doing great.
It's the death of Ben Carman.
Well, no, like, dude, did you not? All right, I don't want to talk about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, but he did come out to me. He's like, I'm about to be canceled, Car. And I was like, damn, dude, what's going on? And then you told me everything. And River Rule, but like now that it's out, like, yeah, dude, like it does feel like a morning a little bit because, yeah.
It's gone like a million times better than I expected. So I'm happy.
That's good, dude.
But yeah, we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah, dude. Well, you're welcome at the lab anytime. So feel free to.
I'll be here.
Just don't show all that stuff. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. If you want to, but we'll boo you probably.
Please do.
No, just kidding. All right, Ben.
All right.
Austin, you want to come up? Yeah, Austin's he wants to talk too. Yeah. He wants to talk about you, kind of a meta thing. He wants to talk about you talking about the top story. It's like three dreams down, I think.
Oh man, I got nothing to say about Ben. Proud of him. I'm stoked. I'm bullish.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about? Because I know you wanted to talk about some stuff earlier, but yeah, because you had a different framing around the whole thing, or a different perspective.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking like high level, just about scaling Bitcoin, and just always thinking about what kind of environment we're in. Specifically from my position as like an app developer, I'm kind of reliant on protocols and the state of protocols, and you know, if they're implemented on the wallet side and if I do it on the app side, and so I'm very dependent on everything that's happening at like the cutting edge of Lightning and eCash stuff and any other new protocols that come up. And so like, I don't know, like how I think about this is, and I think Ben kind of mentioned this in his blog post. It's like scaling. So like Lightning can help scale the volume of payments. Fediment and we'll say Fediment can help scale custody, but there's still more scaling that needs to be done. Ironically, like, and it's at the UTXO level. It's like, how do you scale the ownership of a UTXO on chain, or even just like onboarding into something like a Lightning channel? And these are really, really hard problems. I actually loved. I don't want to have you pull up something that's not on Stacker News, but you know Tony Klaus?
No, who's that?
He's working on stable channels.
Oh, Tony. Yeah, I know Tony.
Well, he gave like a really good take on Twitter today, just about like Lightning, and yeah, I think it's like Tony Klaus on Twitter. If you just find him, it's like his latest tweet. But just to summarize it, he was basically just like, we need to give more credit for. No, that's not it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, okay. So go for it.
But we need to give more credit to ourselves for like what we've done with Lightning. Like none of these other shit coins have built payment channels. Like they all gave up. It's very low level technology. There's a ton of protocols that are going into this one Lightning protocol. And looking back on it, I look back and I'm like, this seems ridiculous to me. It seems ridiculous that you would set out to build all these layers of protocols and like expect it to work, but it does work. And, you know, I think that we made really good trade-offs and fundamentals with Lightning, keeping all the security properties of Bitcoin and basically just trading back PSBTs. I think that's an amazing scheme, but then what we're left with is this very difficult UX to deal with. And also the fact that, you know, you have to hit the chain to open a channel, you have to hit the chain to close a channel, and there's still that scalability issue on chain. So, you know, with all these things in mind, like I'm bullish, I'm optimistic, but I'm looking around and I'm seeing that there's a lot of narratives around Lightning that have not come to pass. There's a lot of people that are very burned out from working on Lightning, and I totally get it. And, you know, like speaking about Voltage, like Voltage is having to look at what is the next chapter of Lightning integrations that people want. How can we provide it? But then also how can we stick to our principles of being non-custodial, trying to be as private
This
as
is where
possible.
this is where for me, like, I don't think people understand that the pie has to get bigger for everybody in the ecosystem. And I just discovered this week, but it turns out adjacent, and people smarter than me probably realize this, but I just discovered it this week, adjacent industries are the way to go. Like this whole kind of let's just stay in the ecosystem and keep paying each other round and round we go is not going to work. Like we have to go out and conquer other areas of industries that are out there. And I think like what we're going to talk about later, like PlebTV, is like we have to go and try to we got to go after the money, like and not just Bitcoiners' money. We got to go after other ecosystems. And I think that to me is like, that helps everybody like push through to other ecosystems. And I don't think people are thinking that far ahead, or even thinking like we have this mentality as Bitcoiners. So like, oh, screw them, they'll come to us. But like if you're running a business, you can't do that. It requires you to make revenue every month. You got to go find the revenue somewhere. And I think there's ways to do it without shitcoining, in my opinion. And
I agree, but it's like you want to go outside of just our ecosystem, so we're not just paying each other in a circle.
Yeah.
Okay, but the problem is, as soon as you go out into another ecosystem, because we're trying to use Bitcoin and we're trying to use Lightning, you're in a two-sided marketplace problem where you have a service, but you're expecting that the user interacting with that service is able to pay Bitcoin or able to pay Lightning or able to use any of these protocols. And maybe you have to strap on fiat payments into there just to get the fiat people that might be interested.
that's
in your
what
product.
it takes, though.
But we need to have great UX with Bitcoin wallets.
I don't think you need to have. I mean, yes,
No,
I think,
because we
I
need to
mean,
win the game, because we're saying that we have better money, so we need to have a better payments UX, and we need to be able to do it without trading off things like custody.
So I grew up in the 90s, so I remember the internet when it sucked. Like there was a time when we had just America Online, and it sucked, Austin. It was like really bad. And then we got to DSL, and it was like, whoa. But at the time, I remember downloading like MP3s on Napster it took like an hour. But this is what we did because we didn't have anything better. That's what I'm trying to tell you is like, yes, we need better UX. Yes, we need all these other things. There's a lot of ass that we want, but we need to stop being spoiled and just go and just grind it out. Like it's the truth, dude. We just need to go and do it. I'm just saying, like, that's just my mentality these days. It's like, sure, we can wait for the chefs of America to come find us, but in reality, it's like, no, let's just go meet Johnny Ochoa and help him figure out his thing, and then we'll meet another, and then before you know it, everybody who's a chef in Austin is on Bitcoin. It's the hard work that has to happen, and at some point, maybe a Zaprite will come out with a better UX flow, or you will come out, or Voltage will come out with it, and then that's when it's already there. There's money that can be deployed once we have a new group of people ready and willing to jump on board. But that's how I see it.
I mean, I agree with your sentiment totally, but like as an app developer, I feel constrained when it comes to Lightning. Like with Bolt 12, for example, we've been waiting for Bolt 12 for a long time, and some of the UX that's possible with Bolt 12, you know, it's like I want to give the best UX. Okay, but also I want to stick to my principles and I want to be non-custodial, let's say. Well, I'm very incentivized as a Lightning developer today just to make a good experience, actually to just be custodial and to make a bunch of very short-term trade-offs that aren't serving the users in the long term. And so like, we want to have technology and protocols that are truly competitive with all the payments UX that we need. And then we can capture people that there can actually be people with Lightning wallets to interact with these services in the new way. Like, I think the one side of the marketplace where you have services that use Lightning, or that you can plug into Lightning, it's still developing, but it's in a very good position. Like, it effectively works. But the other side of the market where you actually get real people to set up Lightning wallets and to be able to use Lightning, that is what is not working. And it is these improvements to Lightning, these additional protocols, that is the key to unlocking that. So really, that's my point. And so it's like, okay, that kind of stinks. We're waiting on certain things, but at the same time, having that long-term mindset and realizing that the foundations that we're building on are very, very strong. And
I think that's where I think the way I look at things is a little bit differently. I don't wait on things. I just say I'm going to do it and then go make it happen. And I think you kind of need people saying that, because it forces people to hurry up on some of this stuff. And if they're not ready, then somebody else will come in and swoop and get that market first. So you got to put the gas pedal always on. It always has to be on full throttle. Maybe not during a bear market, but during a bull run right now, the fastest, the loudest, the most craziest idea wins. And so that's how I look at it during bull runs. If you're not chirping loud and saying you're going to do amazing things, you're probably not going to get noticed during this bull run. But I come from a different version of the Bitcoin space, the 2021 Bitcoiners, when we were like super crazy. So, but then it's also like you have the Bitcoiners that came from the 2017, and they're a little bit different, or like the Giacomos who came from like 2013. They all have like a different version of Bitcoin that they come from, and I think it's good overall. It's good.
I will say this, Mutiny was always a wallet that was pushing forward, like you're saying, and this is why, I looked up to them so much, admired them, and just learned a lot from seeing them have to work through the most difficult problems in Lightning and think about the different options and the different trade-offs that you can make. I really learned a lot just through seeing the development of Mutiny wallet, especially Phoenix wallet and Alby wallet, and just watching all the development going on. It's like I'm learning as people are iterating and making mistakes and having successes. And so that's what's really cool to see. I mean, it's super exciting.
Yeah.
As much as maybe we're down in the dumps a little bit sometimes about Lightning, like there's new stuff happening every week.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of it. So I'm
Cool.
bullish,
Where can people find you?
PlebDevs.com.
Nice. Thanks, Austin.
Cheers.
Keyan, you ready? Keyan didn't want to do 3 people at once,
Yeah.
even though we had 3 mics. But this is Keyan's show. So
I don't like people like someone's waiting awkwardly and then they talk over each other, and then the person, like the people you really like. If we want Austin on, we want to hear from Austin. If we want Ben on, we want to hear from Ben.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't want to obscure.
Do you have any thoughts on this before we move on, or you think we pretty much covered it all?
Well, no, I don't think.
Okay.
Well, there's some things that.
Yeah, go for it.
I think the implication that the Mutiny team has failed, I think, is wrong. I think they're just more or less sunsetting the wallet product, and it sounds like they're just pivoting, as far as I know. And so that's very common and isn't actually, I think, anything to be, concerned about or anything. These problems are hard. They solved a lot of problems associated with it, has been talked about. It's just building a business that people are going to give you money for.
It's tough.
It's
really tough.
Is hard, and where the protocol isn't ready yet for onboarding everyone at the moment. They would have to wait for everything to develop to that point, and that's a long time. That's potentially a long time to wait. It's maybe a couple of years, maybe 5, maybe even 10 years, then the shitcoin implications. I don't like if there was some implied talk around that Ben is we have an article, I think, there's a, Shinobi wrote up an article about CatVM.
Here on Stacker News? Or?
No, it's on, it was shared on Bitcoin Magazine where Shinobi writes. But CatVM is intended to be a layer 2. It assumes we have an offcat soft fork, but it allows shared UTXOs basically, and that would allow us to scale Lightning and Bitcoin in general. And so that's kind of the what Ben has gone on to work on. And so the implication that he's not working on Bitcoin anymore is, I think, false. Although, obviously, like the halo of Udi implies.
I couldn't work for that guy.
Implies shitcoinery. I mean, I think it's more working with him and with his money than it is probably working for, is what I would guess. But I think, yeah, that's my view on that. And I think the truth is the Lightning stuff is very hard. And so when you're very talented, there are easier things to do. And so easier things to work on that people need, and you can create more value faster in other areas. And that's what it sounds like the decision was made. I loved Mutiny Wallet. I liked it a lot. I've talked about it before. I loved the simplicity of it for a non-custodial wallet. I felt like it was very easy to use, and I ran into very few problems with it. And yeah, I'm kind of sad they're going away. But it is what it is. We have a lot of time to migrate away. But those are the things I mostly have to say about it.
Yeah, big week in the city of Austin for all sorts of stuff. I mean,
what else happened in Austin this week?
So much stuff, dude. So much stuff that never hits the news. But
oh wow, are you gonna break it?
No, River Rule.
Wow,
River Rule, Keyan.
Well, can you explain the river rule to stackers who might not live next to a river where there are rules?
Oh yeah, so this side of the river, don't talk about that kind of stuff. Like it's, you talk to a lot of people in this space, a lot of founders, a lot of people that are working on things, and a lot of people like to keep it stealth. And so when you're somebody like me that has a lot of conversations, you can't cross-pollinate that information because people will stop giving it to you.
You have to compartmentalize.
Yeah,
like the CIA.
Oh,
I
wish I was paid by the CIA.
Really? What?
Dude, imagine how much they're paying. You think they're paying a lot of money?
CIA, you heard it here first. All you need is a big check, and Car will
I'm open for
surveil
business
for you.
No.
He just did the gun hand. That's
Maybe.
pretty. That's like signing a document.
We'll do a. We'll write something up. You'll know there's a canary. I'll drop it. Maybe these come down when Car is paid by the CIA.
Oh, all the CBDC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's when you'll know. Just saying.
Okay.
What's your canary? Do you have a canary?
We don't have we're going to put
I thought you had one at the bottom.
We intend to put a canary. Like I've been talking about this for like a year.
You should, dude. You should totally
We're going to put a literal icon of a canary on the bottom.
You should.
And then we have to sign something every month. Otherwise,
do you remember the people that used to say this too, and notice how they don't have that anymore?
No, I don't remember that. I don't know of anyone who had a canary.
You got to be here since 2017.
Bitcoin.
You got to be here since 2017 to see it all.
On the right side of the river.
Anyways, the next top story is Nomad Hacks: How to Cross Borders with Your Bitcoin. This is a Natalia post from the Bitcoin territory. 67 comments, 18,000 sats. Baby boy, Keyan.
Yeah.
What is this?
So Natalia is a notorious stacker / nomad, and I think her last post taught us about how to not need a Bitcoin wallet.
How to cross borders?
A hardware device, a Bitcoin hardware device.
This is good.
And she teaches us now how to cross borders as a Bitcoiner, with your Bitcoin safely. And, having thought about it a lot, having done it many times, pretty simple, fairly standard OPSEC if you're thinking about a lot of stuff. Like you don't want to appear as a Bitcoiner. You don't want to be carrying anything that's obviously Bitcoin hardware. She has some recommendations on how you get away with carrying Bitcoin without carrying Bitcoin hardware. The way she does or doesn't spend Bitcoin in association with her identity, and all of those things. Like as a person who does spend her Bitcoin, uses her Bitcoin regularly, she's recommending in certain contexts you probably don't want to use it. You don't want to be wearing Bitcoin gear, maybe if you're going somewhere that might be hostile toward it, that kind of thing. It's a great post. The top comment was from Darthcoin. He says, "Nice write up. Don't forget to make fun of them sticking a Bitcoin sign on their useless rules." And then he's showing the Zol declare clash. Do they make you declare clash when you cross borders? Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to care. Let's see. Any offense can result in a fine up to, I think, the limit is 10,000 euros.
What if you use a brain wallet? Then do you go to jail for that?
No, that's kind of one of Bitcoin's advantages, is that you can literally cross a border with Bitcoin. I mean, even a USB stick or a hardware device.
Unless you stick it up your butt, maybe.
Yeah, but
you're better off just,
if you have an encrypted USB stick,
doing
you're
one of
fine.
these.
If it's properly encrypted.
Just walk around with the power of money in your mind.
You have to trust that your mind is,
Well, you definitely you can't be mentally handicapped and mentally unstable if you have a brain wallet. I would say that's for sure.
I don't know, man.
You think so?
I don't know. It's a risk. I don't think you want it in your head. I don't think you want it.
I don't know. Did you ever see Johnny Mnemonic? I think that might be the safest place.
I don't think so. I think you want it to not be all in your head. You want it to be spread. You want it to be where
think about it.
An attacker is.
Can somebody attack your mind though? Can somebody? No one. I mean, until Elon makes the.
It's called torture car. It's called waterboarding.
It's called torture.
It's called It's called that.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Right.
Yeah, that's how you crack the encryption of a mind.
Hey, then at that point, it just goes back to it dies with you, right?
No, but you don't. That's the point. They don't kill you. They keep you alive, and they make you suffer a lot of pain until you're like, I don't need this Bitcoin. I just want to.
What if you remember all the words without except for one word?
I don't.
And that's like buried somewhere.
My balls electrocuted. It's just use multi-sig.
You're like, screw that. Just use it.
I mean, if you need to cross a border with Bitcoin,
but you don't think it's worth having like some sort of money in your head?
I think there's a what is it, like a cool amount of Bitcoin where you're okay with getting tortured and losing it rather than you have like hot, which is like maybe a.
But technically,
custodial.
people could still do that with like with your cold card or something else, couldn't they? I mean,
not if you're
doing like a multi-sig thing.
Not if you're in a multi-sig, they can't. They'd have to torture and kidnap several people.
I don't know. This stuff scares me. We need somebody to write an article on this on Stacker News where like the pros and cons for each.
It's been written a bunch of times
on Stacker News.
Not on Stacker News.
It doesn't exist.
Okay, well,
somebody do it. You're getting a lot of sets. Great. This is amazing. Natalia. You're shaking the table. Natalia.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's great. The next top story is introducing PlebTV, a dedicated platform for a new era of television. Did you hear about this? PlebLab doing some amazing things.
Who are these guys?
I've never heard of any of these people. I don't know.
Do they not?
Look at that. It's pretty funny, right? I thought it was good.
I love this. I thought it was emotional.
You said you got emotional?
I did get emotional.
Yeah, me too.
It's like, wow, look at how much time has passed. And I remember a lot of these things in this video.
Yeah, me too. It was one of those things where when I finished, I was like, wow, this one's...
It
feels good in the corazon. Feels good in the heart.
Is that what a corazon is?
Corazon, yeah.
I thought that was like what you call a sexy lover.
No, that'd be like my mamacita.
Oh, wow. Is that what you say?
Yeah, pretty much.
When you're
girls like that stuff,
doing
dude.
That? Really?
Yes, they do. Let me see here. Yeah, anyway, so we launched PlebTV. Been working really hard on this, and I don't know, dude. I think we took it to Round Rock last night, and normal people saw it, and the first thing they said was, "This is amazing," and the second thing they said is, "We need to put categories on here." So they want to see like different categories. So
No, that's what it is on the front page.
no, it's not. Not for
Oh, not
normal
by,
people.
like,
Yeah, they need to see like drama, thriller, stuff like that. Lightning, Bitcoin. So,
Okay, they want to
they want
narrow down.
yeah, they want to
more.
narrow it down more.
Okay, so you got maybe just search might be good if you have
Yeah,
some
there
good
was-
categorical
I
search.
was talking to a lot of people this week. Everybody I was talking to thinks that this is a way forward for PlebLab to make some revenue. So bullish. It's gonna be really hard. It's not gonna be easy, as you know. But anyways,
Yeah,
you
people.
got any other thoughts?
I'm excited about it. I like it. I think it'll be fun. I think there's a lot. I'd love to watch more original
What? Stacker
Bitcoin.
News Live is on.
Wow.
Wow, Stacker News Live is on PlebTV. Oh my God!
Yeah,
Look
you
at
guys
that.
have a pretty low bar at PlebTV.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll be adding more content.
I hope so. If Stacker News Live is on there on the
Stacker
front
News.
page.
The next top story is from PlebPoet. This is The Watch by Ross Ulbricht. Writings from prison, books and articles territory. 17 comments, 2,936 sets. Yeah, what's this?
This is great. Ross writes really well. This is a really touching story, very easy to read. Pulls you right in. But Ross is describing. I think I don't know about the time. Oh, it's the evening. The sun is setting. He is tasked with, in an unscheduled way, watching another inmate while they're on suicide watch. And he basically describes the whole experience and the interaction with the person on suicide watch, Digby. And Digby is a 22-year-old man with a gigolo tattoo on his forehead, on suicide watch because he got in a fight with a cellmate. He has 4 years left in prison and is put on suicide watch because he was considering suicide. And Ross is watching him, interacting with him, convinces him to keep some hope. Ross being on a life sentence without parole is you're 22 years old. Ross is in his late 30s. You're 22 years old. You only have 4 years left. You might be able to get that gigolo tattoo removed from your head. He didn't actually say that, but he'll be out. And what is his name? Big B. And
Yeah.
I don't know. So Ross has a
Substack.
as a Substack. He probably sends it in handwritten form to his family, and they repost it. But this was I think his most recent piece that PlebPoet shared, and yeah.
He says, my future died that day in court when I was sentenced to life without parole. When I got back to the federal detention center, I did not go straight to my cell block as usual. This time I was interviewed first to judge whether I was suicidal. I wasn't, and thankfully I convinced them I wasn't, or I would have spent a few days in one of the dreaded suicide watch cells. I understand why they did that, though. Lots of lifers are suicidal. There is no parole in the federal system, so life means your whole life. It is the same as a death sentence. It just takes longer.
Yeah. That was a different essay.
I think when people say why I Bitcoin, all that kind of stuff, I think of people like him that have come before us that literally fell on the sword to make Bitcoin a peer-to-peer money. And so when it comes down to myself or what I do, I know other people feel this way too in the space, but he's a big part of the reason why I can't stop, if that makes any sense. People like him and other people, and I think having that stand for something, I think is enough. But it's tough, man. It's tough seeing it. Glad that somebody posted it. But hopefully, somebody gets elected as president and can let him go on day one. But we'll see.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of promises. I don't think they're prone to lying, all of them. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
EK said, thanks for sharing. I didn't know Ross has a Substack. This hit me. I am currently thinking a lot about how I am young, or old and young at the same time. This passage reminded me of how I felt when I was 22, and that me at 22 wouldn't be able to imagine how different I would just feel in just a few years. What Ross said after this is so true, even though it's hard to believe when you're in it. Well, Christage says, I'll confess I had no idea he had a Substack. I'm reading it now. It's really good. His mental strength and spirit is very inspiring. Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like he's I don't know how he wrote before. I don't know if he wrote much before, but his writing quality is very high. I think he also draws a lot. I think that the opening scene
he sketched out. I think it was him that sketched out Nostr before there was a Nostr. Did you ever see that? Remember it was on Stacker News?
No, I didn't see that.
There was something that he sketched out about a decentralized, because most people forget that he's actually like a tech guy, but he actually sketched out like some way to do.
I don't think he was much of a tech guy.
No, there was like I'll try to find, maybe the stackers know what I'm talking about, but I think it was like maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he sketched out like a whole decentralized thing and was saying how it could probably work. And then I'm not sure whatever happened to that, but I thought it was a great idea at the time when I saw it.
Yeah. I think,
maybe if the stackers can find it, they can post it.
Theoretical decentralization is harder than actual decentralization. I haven't seen the system, but anyway, not to take away from Ross's plight in prison.
But the fact that he's thinking stuff like that, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the fact
he's writing it out, and
he's from very ahead of his time. I mean, I don't he was made an example of, and he did. I think he did. He said he's done illegal things that he regrets, and he wishes he didn't do them for the sacrifice that he's had to make for it. But he was aware of these technologies, using them and promoting them before nearly anyone, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. The next top story is for Territory Bulls. Wait, is this the next top story? Yeah. No, that's not. That's meta.
We're meta. I think that this is the last top story here.
This one right here?
Yeah.
The people want degenerate gambling. This is from Nerd to Ninja, Bitcoin Territory. 24 comments, 2007 stats. Keyan, what's this?
So Nerd to Ninja is implying someone should take the BISC protocol and turn it into a betting protocol, because you basically have all the building blocks and known to have be effective practically at achieving the ends that they want, and you could take the BISC protocol and turn it into a betting protocol. You have a way to mediate. You have arbitration. You have preconditions to engage in a trade. You have all the things you kind of need, like game theoretically, to make it work, and you have protocol for communicating all of these things, and that's basically what you need for a betting protocol, and you can decentralize it. I don't know much about the DAO, the BIS DAO, and how it functions, where it functions, whether the members are known, where they're located, what is legal, what isn't. But it appears to be. I haven't heard of any arrests of people participating in BIS DAOs, being mediators in BIS DAOs, and that would be effectively a mediator would be someone who is participating in deciding who won the bet, which is a rare case. It's simply the existence of someone to engage in dispute resolution is usually enough to get people who engage in a bet to admit.
What's this that you have down here? I recommend L.
Oh, this is me and EK engaging in an off-topic discussion about
HTLCs.
PR that we are currently looking to merge.
Interesting. So yeah, Super also made Celebrity Escrow.
Yeah.
Which they would be the dispute, the judger, right?
The celebrity would be
the judger,
the oracle.
Yeah. Interesting. Cool, and that's all the top 5 stories of the week on Stacker News. We're going to jump into some meta real quick. So Alby went on and did an AMA. Dude, Alby, man. Why are they so unbelievably great?
I don't know. They're just open and they care deeply about this kind of stuff. And look at all those
Rock
familiar
stars.
names. Yeah,
Freaking rock stars.
neat guys.
What's the biggest risk your company is facing? Moritz said, as for many young software companies, there are tech and market risk. Lightning Tech is still young, but improving quickly. On the other side, we need more apps and sites accepting Bitcoin to increase the market and use case for Bitcoin payments. One way how we tackle it is building in the open, giving developers and users a chance to contribute, and we contribute back. This helps with building communities and form collaborations to grow it together. Anything else that stuck out for you here in the AMA?
I don't know. I thought there were lots of great questions about like their plans. They recently announced Alby Hub, which is kind of, I believe it's mostly an overlay on top of other services you're already running or having run for you. It might also include the ability to run a node within it. I'm not sure, but I think that's the direction they're headed. I think they are sunsetting custodial usage, and this is the direction they're going with it. So that's.
Yeah, we had Natalia. She asked, love Alby, and I wanted to write an article for Alby before, but then I was a bit confused about where Alby is heading, as I see that Alby is trying to do many things, Bitcoin browser extension, Nostr key management, even a hosting service. How do you position Alby in the long term? And then Saunter says, we want to accelerate using Bitcoin as a currency of the internet in any environment, in any app. We're building all of that on open source protocols that will never change. And then Boomy came in and said this. Moritz came in and said exactly that. Jason B said, woot.
Yeah, we had the whole team in here.
Kind of cool.
Participating.
That was really cool. I love Alby, man. I use it every day, like literally every day. It's a big part of my workflow. Lightning flow.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I think one thing to say, I would say like Moritz, like I would gladly pay a yearly SAT thing.
Well, that's what they intend to do with
I mean, because we're doing that with Stacker News. We get very little for our territory right now, but hopefully
no return at all.
Hopefully you guys can fix that here pretty soon. So, but I'm saying like
We'll
Alby
see.
should do that, especially for some of the companies. Like I'd be open to that.
Yeah, but no, they are. I don't know if it exists already or that it's just planned, but you can pay a monthly subscription to have Alby run an Alby Hub for you, kind of like a voltage
cool.
node. Yeah,
Nice.
so like voltage, but for plebs rather than voltage is like more enterprise business. Also serves plebs, but
I can cross pollinate my Alby and voltage stuff, right? Like they work together pretty well. Don't they?
Also,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you still want, you can.
But I can point my Alby wallet to voltage.
You can point your Alby wallet to voltage, or you can just say, I don't want voltage anymore and run Alby Hub. You can choose whichever you want to do.
I don't know.
But
I don't know about that, but
you have options. It's nice to keep things segregated. So that's
yeah, I look at voltage for nodes stuff, and I look at Alby for like payment stuff. If that makes any sense.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know how. It's clearly voltage is very good at running nodes. So
nodes never go down.
For you.
They never go down. Coob.
Well, they have. Yeah, I think they have 99.99% uptime or something. So it's gone down at least one time.
I don't know. Pleb devs, are they down right now?
That's
Is
not what I
voltage
said.
nodes down right now? Nope. So there you go. Not down.
You said never down.
Never down.
That's not true. That's all I was saying. Because most things have had downtime.
Status is up 99.9%. Coob. Anyways,
That's what I said.
next
Why are you telling me what I said?
just because it's funny. Next one I want to share with Jack Moses on Green Candle Pod. Brandon B Keys, dude, check this out. Look, check what Jack said.
Now, you've been in Bitcoin for a while now. Did you think we were going to get to this point this quickly as things are seemingly kind of falling apart?
People listening.
Oh, you can't hear?
Man, that's a good question. I
can hear
would say
from
part of
your
me
ear,
said
roughly.
absolutely not. And
He
then
asked
the
him if he thought he was going to
other
get this
part
far,
of me said, of course.
and then Jack's telling him that
the part of me
both.
that said absolutely not is if you're an engineer or an entrepreneur
saying if you're
or
an
a
engineer,
podcaster in this
entrepreneur, or
space, and
podcaster
you
in
live
this space,
day in, day out, trying
You
to
live
change
day
the
in, day
world
out, trying to
through
change the
this
world.
revolution, through this movement, It's hard.
He said it's hard
to zoom out and appreciate these milestones. And sometimes when
it's good. Definitely recommend people checking it out. And then the other thing was Yopaki. They're hiring.
They're hiring a React Native engineer. They have a
you have to be a Bitcoiner though.
Soon to be released React Native app. Well, I'm not so sure. They have USDT. If you're a Tether person or no, you should probably be aware of Bitcoin because they do a lot of Bitcoin, cool Bitcoin stuff.
There you go.
And they have a really cool app.
There you go. Look. You can even get a desk at PlebLab, it sounds like.
Look at that.
The other one was, if you were to write a book about your life, what would that title be? Did you comment on here?
I did comment on here. I think I had like 5 titles. I was like, I don't know what to pick.
Where's yours? Peter Todd said a series of improbable events. Oh, wow. That's kind of good.
Yeah, no.
The Wild Hustle said it would be The Wild Hustle.
No spaces.
No spaces. That's hilarious. Yours said how to fail or maybe pain.
Yeah.
Or maybe never finished.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Sometimes I joke with mine.
That's not true either. I can see pain being a good title for you.
Pain, it's good.
Yeah, I think pain's good.
I think never finished.
The courage not to cry. No, that's not going to work. I think the pain is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how to fail.
This one doesn't seem like you at all. Never finished.
I think
how to fail now. This one seems about right. You like pain.
But that's what pain is. I mean, that's what never finished means is signing up for pain forever. Because most people, when they're finished,
that's just called life.
They want to chill.
Life. It's just called life.
Okay.
What else other one did you see? I put this one because I thought it would be good. The Subtle Art of Creation.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Somebody already has The Art of Creation.
I wonder, is CJE 95 in Congress or?
Wait, what?
He says never giving up from brain surgery to Congress. Is he a congressman?
This guy?
Yeah.
Doxed. Oh, he is. Whoa, he's a Texan. Doxed. Wow. Wow. Damn. I wonder if he watches the show. That's scary. We say so much.
Why is that scary?
Because we say so much crazy crap.
He's on the right side, I think. There are good people in government, you don't think?
Well, you didn't see that where he said government agent?
That's he's like satirizing himself because Darth Coin, you know.
Look out, stackers.
He's a enemy of Darth Coin.
And then I wanted to share. I shared this one, so like a lot of stuff's been going on, but I think I had a take on this because we went to Nashville, and then I had like a lot of different conversations about self-sacrifice and sacrifice and what is it really. And I think Gray Ruby said it best. He's like, I like the way you present self-sacrifice as something with trade-off instead of merely a noble act. And I think when people think of self-sacrifice, Robert Greene talks about it, but like I think when people think about self-sacrifice, they think about it more from the Bible and like a virtuous act. But I go into detail about how it's more about there's like moral and ethical implications to it all, and definitely worth a read. But yeah, did you read this?
I did.
What did you think about it?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of self-sacrifice on the way when you're trying to succeed. I think it's a big part of it. Yeah, I don't have much to say. There's a lot.
I think there's a proper way to do it, and I think there's like the wrong way to do it. And I think when you first start out on this path, you definitely do things the wrong way. I'm guilty of that. And then as time goes on, you start realizing, hey, it's just all progress and all a journey, and it's okay if it takes the rest of your life to do something. That's fine. You don't need to be successful overnight, or whatever that success looks to you. But yeah, I think about this a lot, and I did when I came back from Nashville, because I had a lot of interesting conversations around this type of thing. But I also think it's just where we're at as far as like the state of the world, just how hard it is to make a sat or a dollar these days. It's really tough. Or maybe because I'm just barely focused on it.
I don't know. I think it is. Everyone struggles with this a bit, but especially this is the hard part of being a founder. You're basically trying to find or deliver value to people that isn't currently being delivered to them. in a way that they recognize. Not only do they receive the value, but they also recognize it is value and it's worth paying for. Like it's their experience, their life is painful enough without the value you're providing, and that is hard, and lots of people do it. But I think that's why I like these types of things, is because it is hard. I find the hardness enjoyable.
Pain.
Yes, pain. I like the self-sacrifice. That's almost like it's like the radar for where new things are, is like how much has to be sacrificed by the person who is doing the thing to get it done is suggestive of no one's been there before. Because you can kind of guarantee that there are fewer people who are willing to sacrifice to do certain things. And so if you're willing to sacrifice more, you might be able to do something new.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's when you finally get to the fruit. I think that's why whenever you hear like entrepreneurs, like really successful entrepreneurs, they went after the most hardest things possible.
Well, it's not just hard. It's also personal. You have a personal interest that like almost gives you the same energy as if it were easy for like it's. But there is this for other people. There's a lot of sacrifice. That's like you want this a little bit of overlap of those.
I like what you said about the value thing. I think there's not enough people asking in Bitcoin for received value or received payment to receive value, kind of like what Alby, like we were talking about Alby earlier, like, and I said I'd gladly pay whatever amount to support Alby every month. It's just like, I think there's a right way to, or not so much a right way. It's more about like I think there should be more companies in the space that charge either subscriptions or charge like a yearly thing like Zaprite, or even you do with Territories, or PlebLab does with Desk and other things. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things. I think there needs to be, I think we're at a mirror point, and I think the Mutiny is kind of a perfect, if it could be used as an example for like charging for things.
But they did charge for stuff.
Did they?
I paid for a Mutiny Plus subscription. You could have a Lightning address on your phone.
Yeah.
And a lot of people
how many
paid for
subscribers they got.
I think they had quite a few. You know, but
maybe that's not enough then.
Well, I think they had ambitions of being as big competitive with Wallet of Satoshi's numbers in a non-custodial format, and I think that vision was not achievable in the time frame that they would like. And that's what that was. But definitely, I definitely.
Well, then maybe this. Gosh, yeah, maybe not.
I think charging money is good. I think if you're making something, you should charge money. It lets you know whether people are value.
How many customers do you have for the Territories?
Current, like ones that we haven't lost. Probably, I think it's like 30 or 40.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's
I
mean I'm super humbled by that. I mean I know that most of them are they're probably operating at a loss. So
you're welcome.
That's motivation for us to make that better and not
I think
make good on that promise of
you guys will make it better.
Making them
I think there was Siggy. He posted something this week about it. Let me see if I can find it. I don't remember if he posted, but he was talking about. I was talking to EK about it. Where is it? I don't see it. I don't see it anyways. Yeah, let's jump into the top stackers. Wait, hang on. Go back here.
Super stat. So
I always forget this. Top stackers. Undisciplined. Snacker in hiding. Coop. Gray Ruby. Kepford.
These are Cowboys or value? Value for the day. This is for the day, not the week.
My bad.
But it's probably lines up roughly.
There you go. Same thing. 0x Bitcoiner. Coins Reporter.
Yeah, Coins Reporter. Look, it's climbing the ranks pretty well there. I don't recall him being in the top 10.
Who's Coins Reporter?
Coins Reporter, I think, is located in India. Has been writing a lot of posts about the protests in Bangladesh.
Nice.
And just usually comes through with like a local Indian take on what is being reported on India, which is pretty cool.
Let's go into the most boring. Oh, the second most not boring segment in Bitcoin is
Best
Cowboy
segment in Bitcoin. Yeah,
turns out it's the best segment.
Car just lets the audience push him around. It turns out he needed someone to tell him that they like the Cowboy.
I don't. Apparently,
segment.
I was wrong, dude. Hey, man, I'm a person who will always say, "Hey, I was wrong," when I am wrong. I will also be the person that first says I'm right too. So just realize that. I think that's fine. I was wrong. I thought Cowboy segment was the most boring segment in Bitcoin, but it turns out it's not. It's the most popular segment, probably.
I mean, what other podcast even has segments in Bitcoin?
There's a lot.
They're all like they're all interview podcasts. I don't know of any podcasts that actually have segments.
Oh, look at you. Yeah,
Aren't
this
they?
might be the only segment in Bitcoin.
Yeah, we have a little interview segment, and then we have a segment, and we do this segment.
Is that what we have at the beginning of those interview segments? I didn't even realize that those were.
They really are. It's
Oh,
like
really? I thought that was
we're-
just more like
we're really,
having people explain their top 5 story.
but it's like a segment. It's a bit like you could call it a segment.
No, I wouldn't have unless Ben was in the top 5. He wouldn't have made on Stacker News this week.
Oh, I know. We do the
Like
segment.
we can't
is
make the news.
optional.
We can't make the news. If that makes any sense.
The news makes itself, Car. That's true.
Like next week, it could be somebody else shuts down, and then I'll ask them if they want to come on. But if it makes the top 5, then we'll have
Is
them on.
someone
If
else
it
shutting
doesn't-
down? Is that what you're saying? Did you just leak that to all the stackers? There's another.
Didn't say anything.
You did.
Nope.
Who was it?
River
Let it
roll.
slip.
River roll. I think everything's good here. And then we got the. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's usually.
Yeah,
what
that was
we
pretty
do.
fast episode.
Yeah, I think we did good for having 2 guests.
Actually, it did really good.
We had
Hey.
2 interview segments.
What are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? I am working, and I've been watching Veep.
Veep?
Yeah, have
The
you
show
watched-
with Julie Louis Dreyfus?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's pretty
I
funny.
liked her in Seinfeld, but I didn't think for some reason I thought that Seinfeld made her great. But she
I
is
thought so too.
Yeah, but she is actually.
Turns out she's not.
She's actually great on her own. It's a really funny. It's actually a pretty funny show, and if it like lets you get, if you're like having a lot of feelings about the election, it's like a nice release valve for that, and because that's mostly it's fully comedic but still political. Anyway, that's
what you're
kind
doing?
of- that's probably what I'll do. How about you?
We got Recon real quick. Got Recon. He says, "Hey guys, new user here. Just wanted to let you know the Stackers is my favorite place." He also says, "Your interactions you get on Stacker News is honest." All right, let me see if I can move this out of the way. It's
Oh,
always
that's
tough.
nice, Recon. Thank you.
Yeah, it says it's honest. It's good feedback. All
Oh,
that
I
kind
need
of
to
stuff.
donate to rewards.
And he says, "I completely agree. I was extremely happy to pay for Mutiny. Alby is sick. Took me 8 months to get in by code thanks to Stacker News." Oh, so he means sick in a good way, or
Yeah, he means
Oh, okay.
like early 2000s sick. Like, hey, dude, that's sick.
1,600 sat for a
Nice,
subscription.
360, bro,
That's
that's
too low,
sick.
bro. That's not enough. 1,600 sats for a subscription. It needs to be more. You gotta.
That's for who?
That's what he's saying for Alby's subscription. That's too low.
Oh, that's not Alby's subscription. I doubt it.
There's no way you could live off of.
I don't think
Yeah.
that's their subscription. Mutiny's was 18,000 sats, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
which I think was fair.
I think it should be like 50,000 sats.
Yeah, but you have to make a trade off of like you want fewer people enjoying.
Yeah.
You can maybe have tiers.
We
They
got
only have one tier though.
We got Vake in the fountain. He says, "If I go on a first date and find out she doesn't listen to Stacker News Live, I typically leave before the appetizers arrive and let her pay for the bill."
I hear this all the time. It's sad. I mean, you can't expect women to listen to this show. So really, unless you're
just saying-
dating Car's sister.
I'm just saying,
who I
every
think we've
girl,
already
every
taken.
girl I date knows about Stacker News Live.
Car is an incel. Not real. I'm just kidding. But
We got Blockchain Book says Zap, and then he also said, "My Bitcoin Advisory Council." You ready for this? Because we didn't have any Bitcoin Advisory Council last week. Remember that? Last week where we had the Bitcoin Advisory Council,
no, what was that?
we were talking about the Trump Council. Damn, do you not remember the news from last week?
What? Oh, the conference stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about like he was going to make a Bitcoin Advisory Council, and who would be on the Bitcoin Advisory Council. And then I asked you, and you said Jimmy Song.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, Blockchain Book says my Bitcoin Advisory Council will be Eric Kason, Matt Odell, and Simon Dixon. Doxed.
Who's Eric Kason? Is he the? He's like the eighth.
He's the one that wrote the book.
Eighth Law or something.
No, he wrote the. What's the name of the book? No one's paying attention. I forget. It's a good book, but I don't remember the name.
Oh, the Eighth Property of Money or something.
No, he's more like on the. I don't know how you would describe him. A libertarian, I guess.
Okay, so him, Odell, and who?
Simon Dixon.
Simon Dixon.
Who I don't know who that is.
It's not Chris Dixon, who is it? A16Z, I assume. Maybe his brother.
I don't know.
Lots of people probably have the name Dixon. What are you doing this weekend, Carl?
A lot of work, dude. We are going to be launching another thing on Tuesday, so we got to prep for that. And then, like this week, just doing a lot of calls and stuff with builders and other people in the space that want to work with us on PlebTV stuff. So we got to now comes a time where I got to now go back and put all the promises that I made during the week. I got to go and deliver them. Putting some work in this weekend, so I got to do that. And then things are going good. I went to the Brotherhood this week. It was really, really inspiring, man. It's there's something to be said about getting other people from different industries and talking to them about some of the same issues that they're having, but not just sticking in the Bitcoin ecosystem. If that makes any sense. It's good to get a different perspective on things. So I definitely enjoyed that this week. That was an interesting conversation we had. I don't remember exactly, but I remember walking away from it feeling pretty good.
I think it's one of the things many people are missing without a church or other types of communal groups that aren't segregated by these kind of more shallow features of people, a belief in God is something that brings a bunch of diverse people together.
Yeah.
And I think people are much better having interactions with a diverse group of people. And so that's really, I think your experience is suggesting that.
Yeah, sure, for sure. And then, me and Carlos will probably go to church this weekend too, and do that stuff. But yeah, just really focused on work, man. There's just so much work to do. And so much work that we have to put out, and but the thing is, I don't mind the work. I actually enjoy working. I enjoy what I do. I feel like I'm living my best life, if that makes any sense. So I enjoy doing all these things. It'd be different if I didn't enjoy it. So I'm just trying to keep the dream alive, if that makes anything.
Yeah, I think most of the science shows that if you have money or you don't, your disposition, your feelings towards life are roughly the same. So a lot of people think when things are hard, when their work is hard, that's somehow affecting their well-being. But it's really, it's mostly just who you are.
That's why it's so important to do what you want, dude.
Yeah.
It's so important to do what you want and double down on it. And if people don't want to follow you with it, that's okay. Let them do what they want. But when you have a vision for something that you want to go and create, and if you can find one person that believes in you, that's enough. But it's so precious. Life is so precious. I'm old enough to understand now. I wish I would have known what I know when I was younger, Coob. I would have started down this path a lot sooner, and I got the rest of my life to make things happen. I'm not in a rush. Calm.
Yeah,
a storm.
What would Ross Ulbricht do if he were out?
I know, right?
Do you think he would go do something he hated for the rest of his life?
Yeah, for real, dude.
Live in another type of prison?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. You're better off just doing what you want and try to make money that way, even if you're struggling, than living somebody else's dream.
For sure.
But that's me.
Yeah, but usually it's best to find people who share your dream and share it with them, because you don't want to do your dream alone.
Definitely don't want to do it alone. Come to Pleb Lab, do it with us, and we'll still help you with your dream.
Heck yeah.
Cool. I think that's it. We're gonna go do Hack and Tell, but
what are you showing off today? Did you hack and tell?
I'll probably show the PlebTV stuff, but Stackers, if you're out there, go out this weekend, and make some turtle soup I heard that's a thing.
Who's eating turtle soup?
It's a thing.
I've had turtle soup before.
Did you really?
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like I expected it to taste different. I don't know, like
Kind of like alligator.
I don't think I've had alligator before. I've had frog before, but there's not a lot of variety of flesh flavors.
I was expecting it to be green.
There's a lot more variety of like vegetable and fruit
Oh.
flavors. Yeah, it isn't green, is it?
No.
I had it in a soup.
Turtle?
Yeah.
Did you have the turtle looking at you the whole time when you were eating it?
Well, it didn't have a head because it was dead.
Did they eat it out of the show? Wait, is it like one of those things where like they put it in the show?
I door dashed it. I got turtle soup. It was from a food truck.
Oh.
Yeah, no,
I'd
it
eat
wasn't.
it.
That'd be gross.
All right. Coop.
Zap.